try and play your Spotify and record a video at the same time. Let me know in the comments. Oh my God, it was driving me absolutely crazy this morning. Yeah, you know what? It has been a heat wave of unparalleled proportions. And I just came up with that just right now. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to share something with you. It's embarrassing, but I don't know. I've never experienced it ever. And I think it's got to do with the heat. I found 2 bugs in my truck in the last 2 days in the morning when I wake up. One was a tick, okay? It was crawling on my arm. I've got it in this bottle right here. You can see one bug, and then there's another bug in the other corner, okay? The small one's the tick. I woke up this morning and found a wood roach on my cabinet right behind my driver's seat. Excuse the fuck out of me. What's this now? Now, anybody who knows me, who really knows me, knows how meticulously clean I am. It's a work truck, right? But you're not gonna find fucking bags of garbage in my truck, yeah, sure, put a bag of garbage, next stop, throw it out. There's not a buildup of fucking garbage in my truck like you see sometimes, right? I'm completely perplexed. I feel like I'm living a fucking nightmare right now. Can you imagine two mornings ago, you wake up and there's a tick crawling on you. The very next morning, you don't even have your fucking seeing eyeglasses on yet. You see something because it's a gray cabinet and it's a brown bug, and you're like, am I fucking dreaming right now? The very next morning? No, not dreaming, driver's lounge. Just living the fucking nightmare. And, all I can think of, is how many bugs I'm eating in the middle of the night because I'm a mouth sleeper, a mouth breather. Oh my God. Please, no. Please, not again. Just on the tail end of this trip here. And what I really wanted to come on and make a video about was something that we've talked about in the past. And I'd like to get your perspective on it. When we think about the worst things that have happened to this industry in the last 20 years, there's been so many changes that have gone on, most of which have all been the negative, right? So if we go through them, we can start with ELDs, right? ELDs. We can start with fuel prices. Never in the history of diesel fuel has there ever been a time on God's green earth where diesel fuel was more money than regular gasoline. Okay? Some of you might not even be old enough to remember that watch this channel. People used to buy diesel engines because the fuel was cheaper. It had nothing to do with longevity. It had nothing to do with mechanical structure, components, inexpensive. It was all about diesel's cheaper. Might as well buy a diesel. When I was growing up, I can remember what the fuel prices were, and diesel was always about 10, 20, even 30 cents cheaper, right, than regular gasoline. not anymore. Why is that? Let's ask ourselves, why the fuck is that? It costs less money to refine. It's a dirtier fuel. It's, you know, then not only to mention that, but now we have the bioengineered diesel, right? The corn. And so it's even less, it's even dirtier of a fuel at this point. I don't know, dirty may not be the word, but it's worse for your engine, that's for sure, right? All of this, you know, bioengineered fucking fuel that we're putting in these engines now. So you got the ELD, you got fuel prices. You know, we got, of course, we got to talk about immigration, right? We got to talk about the non-domicile CDLs. What else happened in the last 20 years and right up like 10 years ago? We got COVID happen, right? That impacted trucking, like exponentially impacted trucking. But I want to make the video and talk about what I believe to be the number one most destructive thing that happened to trucking, and that is the advent of the automatic truck. Okay? You know, when they decided, and this was, you know, for a lot of reasons, but when they decided that they were going to build an automatic commercial tractor, right, with an automatic transmission in it, okay, I think Volvo would have been the first company to do it. And, you know, for the European market, right, which is where automatic trucks originated, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't do any research, but what I do believe is that that's where they originated in the European market. It makes some sense to have an automatic truck, right? It's a lot smaller, a lot more stop and go. I mean, you know, I don't know why the fuck they did it, to be perfectly honest with you. But once automatic trucks came to North America, how the hell are you? It completely eroded the fucking very fabric and foundation that this industry was built on, which is skilled labor. Okay? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Skilled labor. It actually took training. You can't just get into a 13, 10 speed, 18 speed, 15 speed, fucking pull two lever speeds, I don't know what they're called, you know, whatever the fuck they're called. You can't just jump into a fucking tractor with a clutch and go down the fucking road, can ya? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're not going to get very far if you jump into a fucking tractor with a clutch in it and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Because I remember the first car I ever drove, well, the first vehicle I ever drove was a fucking motorcycle, okay? So I knew about, and I'm going through a construction zone. This is fun, right? Let's see if this works. Hey, look, my truck wants to stop. Look at this shit. Fucking bullshit. Fuck me. You see these fucking stupid trucks? I'm going through a construction zone. I'm on the fucking shoulder, and my truck wants to come to a complete fucking stop thanks to the fucking smartness of it. You know? Oh, you're on the side of the road. You can't, you wait till these automated trucks come in. Oh, or the fucking self-driving, not automated, but well, automated, but it's fucking ridiculous. I'm going to tell you a short story because I go all over the place. You guys know that by now, and it takes me a minute to get warmed up. But I'm going to tell you a short story. Don't let me forget what I was talking about with the automatic trucks. I'm going up 57, and those of you who are going up 57 north or south, and you're getting close to Illinois, specifically like about 50 miles outside of like Effingham area, there's a huge green bridge. It's a rail bridge. It's massive. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. You know the one I'm talking about. Well, it's about fucking 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday going back last year. And I'm fucking empty, okay? I'm just deadheading back to the house. And next thing you know, the fucking truck, I've got the crew set, and I'm just drinking my coffee, fucking, you know, doing my thing. And I got the crew set at about a fucking hearty, like 55 miles an hour. I'm not in no rush to go nowhere. And the fucking truck locked up all 18 wheels on me because it thought that fucking bridge was something was in front of me, and it locked me up, and it threw me into my fucking steering wheel. And all I could think of was, if I had a fucking load, specifically a steel coil loaded fucking suicide on that fucking trailer, I'd have been dead. And I'm not an exaggerator, I'm not an embellisher. I'd have been fucking dead. That fucking coil would have let go. When you lock up, and this has got fucking disc brakes on the trailer. All these company trailers and tractors all are fucking equipped with disc brakes, short stopping distance fucking brakes. Okay? I'd have been dead. That, I don't care how much securement I had on that coil, and I don't want to hear about it in the fucking comments about if you had it secured, that thing ain't. No. When you're doing 55 miles an hour and you come to a fucking screeching halt within about, I don't know, fucking 150 feet, I mean, it locked all 18 wheels up. Well, I called fucking safety later on when they got in that morning. Or no, was it that morning, or did I wait till Monday? No, I called that morning. I called fucking safety at home is what I did. And I said, hey, I had an incident, because it shows on your ELDs, you guys all know about it, it'll show a hard brake, right? I said, I had a hard brake incident I want you to take a look at on Monday morning. I said, I took a look at it on my own personal dash cam, and I didn't see anything, because in the moment, I thought something had run out in front of me or something, right? I didn't know what was going on. I'd never experienced it before. It wasn't until I put 2 and 2 together and realized what had actually happened. And safety couldn't give me an answer about, there's no explanation of why that should have happened. Okay, no explanation, eh? But you're still gonna keep these fucking sensors on this fucking truck, eh? And you want me to fucking haul coils and shit? Fuck you. I said, well, seeing as how there's no explanation, I said I'll just be making a verbal statement right now that I will no longer be hauling coils for this company. Now, I haven't hauled a coil since. I used to do fucking massive coils. 80,000 fucking pound coils on a 5-axle trailer. Fucking 3/4 inch fucking plate coils. Cold rolled. Right off the ships. I've done massive coils to where the coil just sits inside the rub rail. You can barely get your fucking binder on it. It's like right there, right up against the coil. You can't walk around the thing. It's about 8 feet fucking high and 6 feet high, whatever. And right to the rub rail, just massive 86,000, 89,000 pound coils. You think I'm gonna fucking go down the road with that, with a truck that behaves that way? There ain't no way. So, anyways, going back to the fucking automatic trucks, this used to be a skilled labor job, right? You had to get in a truck and you had to spend some time in a truck training just to get it to go up and down the road. Correct me if I'm wrong. And for all those who don't have, all the people that watch this channel are out on the road, you know, that have never driven a manual transmission truck, you won't know what I'm talking about, but I'm sure you're smart enough to understand what I'm saying. It makes sense. My first vehicle was a motorcycle. My second vehicle was a manual 5-speed Mustang, a 4-cylinder 5-speed. Yep, that's how old I am. They made 5-speed 4-cylinder Ford Mustangs back in the day. It had a hatchback on it. It looked just like a Mustang Cobra, only it had a tiny little exhaust out the back and a little and a huge hood, because you could put a 5-liter in it. Anyways, but I learned how to drive. But when I knew how to drive a manual transmission car. So when I went to truck driving school, I didn't think that there'd be any difference, in driving pulling gears on a tractor trailer. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. And was I ever humbled? I felt pretty dumb. Pretty fucking dumb, I'll tell you that. I learned how to, I think I told this story before. I was on it. They did the driver training in a 10-speed. Long story short, I got my license. I went and applied at this job. I lied about how much experience I had because, back then, you better know somebody willing to hire you. That's the truth. You better know somebody who is willing to take a shot on you, meaning you usually spent a month or 2 or 3 or 6 in a truck with a family member or somebody that was gonna show you what to do, and then you could get into a job situation and start getting paid, right? Well, I had circumvented things and I lied, and and then when they asked me, when we tried to do your reference there at this company, we couldn't, and the company folded, right? But yeah, I know what I'm doing. So the boss, the actual owner of the company at the time, took me for a road test. Well, I get into this at the time it was a Pro Star, which aren't bad trucks actually. They're not. The old Pro Stars with a 13-speed Fuller transmission and a Cummins, they're not a bad gig. Anyway, they were far better than the LTs, I can tell you that. Anyway, I got in there, and the first thing I seen was there's a fucking button on the side of this shifter knob. I didn't even know what a 13-speed or an 18-speed was. I just thought, I always heard an 18-speed, right? But I didn't know that 18-speed, you split gears. It was 18 speeds. That's how fucking ignorant I was to trucking. Like I said, I was not born bottle-fed or breastfed on diesel, right? This was a second career for me. I got into trucking out of fucking necessity, not because I grew up wanting to be a truck driver. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just was completely fucking naive and ignorant to the truck. So anyways, when I got into trucking, they were actually trucking was exploding, like a small explosion, not like a fucking stupid COVID explosion where any Tom, Dick, or Harry with a fucking flip-flop could get into a truck. But it was a small, things were expanding rapidly and they're looking for drivers. So he knew I didn't fucking drive, he knew, but he was going to take a shot on me. I got lucky. And I just happened to come from a place with a very high volume of trucks and cargo that needed to be moved out of the area. And so, I'm in there and look I had barely passed I passed it on the first time with a 10-speed, right? I passed my driver's examination on the first try. But I'm still, I probably had, I don't know, maybe 20 hours in the truck. and most of which was spent learning how to back up, right? And so, you know, moving through gears was still very new to me. You guys can put the rest of the puzzle together. But what did say, and it was funny, was I said, I looked over, he's sitting there and he's looking at me like, he's trying not to be like, he wants to give me the job, but he's kind of like, really, can you even get this thing going, right? And I said, my old truck, I think I said, my old truck didn't have that button. He goes, don't worry about it, just shift it like a 10-speed, he told me. And fucking that's what I did, just, you know, kind of, he says, oh, you're probably not used to this configuration, right? And I said, no, he's like, oh yeah, well, when it's paired to a, you know, and he was making excuses for me. He was actually a pretty good dude. And he gave me a job, and then he sent me to, he sent me on my way. And, you know, that was rough, man. That was rough. It was a rough start, but, you know, I had been to truck driving school. I learned how to back up, you know, and all the years I've been out here, you know, I've never hit nobody else's truck, you know. Has shit happened? Of course shit has happened. You know, I'd be a liar if I said, oh no, I've been a perfect fucking angel out here. But as far as like backing up into people's trucks and, you know, destroying property, no, that's never happened. Nothing like, you know, I'm not doing fucking U-turns on the Florida Turnpike, okay? I'm not going the wrong direction on the interstate, okay? That's never happened. Just shit that's like mind-blowing, right? So, you know, all of a sudden now we got automatic trucks, and all you need is the desire to fucking go up and down the road. You got to be desperate. Excuse me. Oh, apologize, feeling sick. But you combine the gift of desperation, right, and a vulnerable population, right? Who's the vulnerable population, DL? The fucking immigrants. It's a vulnerable population, okay? That's who the vulnerable population is. They don't got a fucking pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. So someone says, here, I'll pay you fucking 30 grand a year. $30,000 a year, and I can live in this thing? I can live in here? And I don't gotta pay for the fuel, and I get free showers, and I mean, it's like winning the lottery when you come from these third world countries. It's winning the fucking lottery. So they live in we've been through all of this before, right? I'm not gonna fucking go over it. But yeah, automatic trucks were, in my opinion, the single worst thing to happen to trucking. Yep. Because you can clearly see that somebody who goes in and cheats on a fucking examination, a written examination, yeah, go ahead, go cheat on your fucking test. Okay, you got your license, congratulations. You got your fucking license. Somebody you know on the inside, you got a CDL. Now go move the fucking truck. Oh, you can't do that? Oh, okay. But with an automatic, you know how to drive a car? It's just longer. It's just a little bit bigger. You know how to drive a Honda? Oh yeah, you know a Honda? Okay. Yeah, you can drive a fucking tractor trailer. It's just a little longer, a little bigger. Don't worry about the height. As long as you're going fast enough, you'll get underneath it. Correct me if I'm wrong. let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'll title this video. Doesn't really matter. I hope you tune in. Hope you're enjoying the videos. I know I'm enjoying the interactions in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you got something that, you know, is on your mind. We can chat about it. Other than that, you guys have a good rest of the week. I'll see you probably next week. It's only Wednesday today, but like I said, I'm on the tail run of being out here for almost 2 weeks now. So once I get this shit offloaded tomorrow morning, I'll be MIA for a few days. I'll be at the house. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Be safe out there, and Driver's Lounge over and out.